Hello and welcome everyone to a live post here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. That is Kim and Carl perched atop one of their platforms in their free roaming habitat, and well, they just had their yard cleaned, some enrichment placed. Kim's doing a little stinky face. Let me zoom in on that. And looking forward to hanging out with these two special lions, two recent rescues here to the Wildcat Sanctuary, and well, watching them, hopefully enjoy some enrichment, checking in with the TWS crew. I'm looking forward to it. So come one, come all, happy Tuesday. And you are tuned into a live post here at the one and only Wildcat Sanctuary. Robin saying hello with that fun little sticker. Hey, Robin. Hope all is well. Happy Tuesday today. And like I said, these guys just had their habitat cleaned. So, of course, kind of the brass tacks of animal care. You got to pick up the poop. Got to maybe clean up old enrichment, here in the summer months, maybe a little bit of lawn care. But what you're also going to do is take that opportunity, since we have Kim and Carl safely shifted into their indoor space while the caretakers are in their outdoor space. They're going to go ahead and place some new enrichment. So Carl's going to probably go hang out, go chase his girl Kim as they both kind of explore their habitat. And you might notice kind of a fence or a wall going down the middle of their habitat, but they still have access to this full space. They can just walk right around that corner. So yeah, long and short, we're going to kind of hang out with these lions while they cruise around this space and find some enrichment that their caretakers did an excellent job of placing. So welcome everyone. Hope your Tuesday is going well. Mine certainly is. Hello, everyone, says Kathy Ryan. Hey, Kathy. Glad to have you here. Lori Heath doing a little tagging. Thank you, Lori. An aw from McKinley. I like that name, McKinley. Beautiful from Maryland, Grant. Beautiful indeed. And what do we have over here, Gretchen? Kim's found an excellent spot where the camera can't find her. Both your camera or my camera. We'll make a lap all the way around. You might even be able to say hi to some caretakers who are in the building doing some cleaning. You can see Mr. Carl snooping out some scents. Hey, Sue Fraser saying hi to everyone. Mirjam, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, saying hi. Hey, Mirjam. Saw Jill Finney saying hello, Judson. Hello, Jill. Hope you're doing well today. Oh, we found a watermelon. Okay, so caretaker Katrina is the zone, or one of the zone leads, I should say, here in Roar Ridge, and she mentioned that, and this is kind of just a great kind of informative thing about these rescues and all new rescues that come to the Wildcat Sanctuary, is that sometimes when you're coming to a place like the Wildcat Sanctuary, you're given things that you've maybe never had before. Things like a temperature-controlled indoor bedroom. And sometimes new things aren't always or just very simply, new things are new. And it takes time for the cats to adjust. And these guys had been getting, there's Carl standing up on a barrel to get another watermelon. These guys, i.e. Kim and Carl, have been doing well using their indoor space, but we want to gain their trust before we were to shift them into that indoor space temporarily. We had noticed Kim much more comfortable in the indoor bedroom. Carl, he'd come in there for feeding, but oftentimes he would kind of take his food and come back outside. And it wasn't until plenty of observations from the caretakers of doing their AM rounds, their PM rounds, where they're noticing that Kim and Carl are in the bedroom on their own volition for just to relax and enjoy themselves, that they'd kind of gained that level of trust from them. So now we're able to safely shift them into their indoor space for them to get their outdoor yard cleaned here for the first time, which is now we're seeing lots of cool enrichment for them to enjoy. So great to see that, they're getting accustomed to the pace of sanctuary here. And at the Wildcat Sanctuary, we're going to adjust ourselves to whatever pace the rescues that we have in our care want to go. Nice job, Mr. Carl. And that pace varies for each one of our rescues. So, you know, I'm talking about new things like that indoor temperature controlled bedroom that rescues have never had. Certainly we've had rescues who have never had an indoor space who are great about using it right off the bat. But we always just want to take a kind of metered and measured approach, and happy we kind of get to relay that process with you, because it is a process, and caretakers are oh so vigilant in the types of observations that they're making. They know kind of, oh, Kimberly seeing Lucy over here, getting a little excited. Lucy perhaps feeling a little bit more, yeah, thank you for the chuff. She says, I get excited about humans. I don't know how excited I get about other cats. Hence the shade cloth that you see here. But nothing to where it disrupts Lucy's day too much. I think she gets curious. Obviously, the caretakers are up at the building, so that has a lot of the cats kind of coming into a central area. But Miss Lucy has Indy the tiger on the other side of her, Tiger Dash. You guys maybe would have saw that cute video of Indy and Lucy hanging out in that corner. So she certainly gets along with tiger kind. I think that she has a little bit, maybe a harder of an issue with lions, it seems like. So, Miss Lucy, we got that shade cloth up for you, and you know that you have not only access to this free roaming habitat, but a whole neighboring one that she can get comfortable and hang out with tigers, if that's the type of cat that she prefers. But you know, Lucy's days are certainly well spent, and knowing that she's doing a little kind of cat observations across the way, but still plenty of time to truly relax is good to know for her. And we did have a witness protection cat that was in this yard temporarily, and Lucy also did let us know that she wasn't a fan of that species either. So Kim, understandably so, she's kind of getting a little excited. She sees her caretakers coming out of the building. She obviously saw Lucy too. So we'll keep moving. I don't want to act like I have anything for Miss Kim, because she sees all that commotion up there. So we're going to go and follow. Oh, and this is also kind of typical cat after they've had their room clean. She just went right into her indoor bedroom to kind of check things out. But let's go meet back up with Carl. And welcome, everyone. If you're just joining us, happy Tuesday. Kim and Carl are enjoying some fun summer enrichment here. And it's been great seeing these two cruise around their habitat, because you guys know that earlier this year we fundraised for our Healing Habitats campaign. And not only was to offer spaces to the rescues yet to come, the rescues like Kim and Carl, who you hadn't even met yet, but it was also to honor the rescues that you guys have supported and offered a Wild at Heart life here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. And Tiger Zen, one of our former witness protection cats, being one of those cats, and so many of the cats here at Sanctuary too. And then obviously Shadow that we highlighted. And glad that I kind of looked over and saw that sign right there. And that sign in this habitat, and seeing these two rescued lions explore the space, is just living proof of what we're able to do for these rescues. It's living proof of what we're able to do as a team and as a collective for the rescues here. It's an amazing thing. Also Tuesday today, what often happens on Tuesday is our vet day. So there's a little vet day happening as well. Gretchen and I have our hands full, but they're going to be taking some photos. It's going to be Bobcat Bogart having a wellness exam, as well as Savannah Rachel. Hey, Goofy girl. Carl and Kim giving their caretaking team a salute as they head out. And Carl, I have a slight suspicion that maybe, in addition to some of the fun summer enrichment that was placed for you, you also found some fun enrichment in a water bucket that used to be hanging up to on that fence right there. Kim and Carl's former caretakers at Aspen Valley had mentioned that there was Carl had an affinity with some of the water buckets that he had placed for him in his temporary enclosure there, and I think that affinity has carried over here to the Wildcat Sanctuary. Nothing we're not prepared for, Mr. Carl. We know all types of tips and tricks to make sure that our rescues aren't pulling off their water buckets from the wall. Of course, we can think back to Tigress Daisy, who has her whole armor-plated water bucket. And Kim, I do kind of wince a little bit thinking about how expensive it was to have that thing machined specifically for our water buckets here. But nonetheless, we're willing to go the lengths for our cats to keep them safe and healthy and hydrated too. Linda Bryan Kimball saying such a great life they now have. That's correct, Linda, and I hope that you're crediting yourself and the people who you're watching the post with alongside of you. It's amazing what we're able to do and the before and afters that we're able to provide for so many cats here. I mean, I think that there's 150 rescues here at the Wildcat Sanctuary and that your support touches them each and every day in all of these wonderful ways. Just going through a few more comments too. McKinley's just asking a few questions about our lions, and Lori, I appreciate you letting her know that we have a total of 13 rescued lions, and that you provided a link right to our website where you can read about those lion rescues. And so the team is getting into Lucy's yard, which means that she's either been shifted inside or into her other yard, but it looks like they've shifted her inside. Gretchen, these two are kind of taking a pause on things, so we might do a little strolling and see who we can see. Kind of just as it goes, the motion of the ocean when caretakers are cleaning. One area is that since they're in there, they're going to be kind of making their lap or a lap around the entire building through all of the yards. So many of the cats in this area are going to be temporarily shifted inside. So maybe we can just hop over to Cougar Cove or something like that and see a kiddo there before we wind things down. Sweet teddy bear ears, says Pat Hamilton. They certainly are kind of teddy bear-like. They're very, very rounded, and I can agree with that. But what they're attached to is probably the antithesis of a teddy bear, an apex for them, literally. That it may look, kind of heavily overgrown or what have you, but there's still plenty of channels and alleyways that the caretakers are going to kind of redefine, kind of pull them back into order, so to speak, and it's you have to shovel. In the summer, you get rain, you're going to have to mow, and it's been a fairly, I'd like to say, I'd say within the last week the rain has kind of picked up again, week and a half, but overall it's been a fairly wet summer. What do you think, Gretchen? Do you think we'll find any cougars here? Oh, okay. Maybe a member of the Three Wild. I was hoping to come over and see Mr. Noah or Miss Langley here. Lay Sandler saying, thanks for such a great live, Judson. Well, thank you, Lay. I hope you're enjoying yourself. Paula, that's exactly right. Oh, they are in Shadow's enclosure. That's exactly right, Paula. And so we actually would have expanded that space. So we would have taken the roof off, and now we've kind of made it twice as large. And certainly, I don't want to speak out of turn, but one of the ideas of keeping that wall along that shared habitat is when Mango comes of age, that potentially we would be able to move her along that shared wall so she would be in a close vicinity with Kim and Carl. But I can let Tammy kind of speak on that in detail. But from at one point in the planning process, that was one of the determinations for having that wall there. I was going to say, Gretchen, who do we have here? I'm going to put your IDing skills to the test. I know who it is. You want to say it's Quincy, huh? Well, that is the brave, the bold Reineer. And Reineer, being the one female of this group of 3 rescued wild-born cougars, Reineer, I had the privilege of picking you up at the Delta Cargo. Well, it's a good thing I'm zoomed in right now because you can see a witness protection cat there in the background. I remember picking you, Reineer, and your siblings up from the Delta airline carrier cargo in Minneapolis, driving them back up here to the sanctuary, and upon letting them out of their airline crates, who was the first rescue to emerge? It was this gal right here, Reineer. Who was the first one to take a piece of food from the tongs? It was Reineer. And ever since, she just, from the moment we met her, and I just love that when we meet cats and they've already just defined who they are here at Sanctuary, and Reineer did an excellent job of doing that upon rescue. And Reineer and her siblings and Langley and Mr. Noah, as well as Snowstorm and Mr. Blaze, are a part of kind of a unique segment of rescues here at the Wildcat Sanctuary, where they're wild-born rescues and wild-born orphans, and that for one reason or another they haven't been able to live a wild life, but here at the Wildcat Sanctuary they get to come here and live a compassionate life. And obviously we want all wild to be where it belongs, in the wild, and certainly we're willing to accept the fact that these rescues are still living in a captive environment, but given the fact that these wild-born orphans often have no other choice than coming to Sanctuary or facing euthanasia, we are happy that they get to live a compassionate life here, and still on their own terms, and still with the companionship of one another, knowing that Miss Reineer has her siblings here. Well. Oh, really? Okay. Well, this will be a perfect maybe a little conclusion for us, where I got to start out with Mr. Kim, Miss Kim, Mr. Carl, 2 of our recent rescued lions, enjoying some enrichment in their space. Got to come over, visit with some cougars. We did get a dash of Lucy in there as well. Isn't this kind of thicket here in front of us? I see somebody standing under a platform back here. Okay, yep, they're both moving around. It wouldn't be, I wouldn't put it past Langley to be seeing what neighbor Beauty, Eurasian Lynx Beauty, is doing. And Noah and Langley would be 2 of our most senior wild-born rescues. And for many of you who's been following the Wildcat Sanctuary for some time, you would know Noah and Langley from the 5 Wild, and originally a group of 5 wild-born orphan cougars, and it would be Langley, Noah, and Carlo, who were 3 siblings who were orphaned and rescued all at once, with Denoma and Andre being kind of surrogate siblings among that family. Well, I see Gretchen kneeling down like she sees a cat and is taking a photo, so I'm going to keep on heading back there. Tracy F. saying, how is Lucy enjoying her new neighbors? Well, you actually kind of got to see for yourself there, Tracy, at the beginning of the live, so I urge you to go back and check it out. Lucy's doing well. I was just kind of in summary, Lucy's a fan of her tiger neighbors. Lucy, where?
Going over there.
Oh, okay. The opposite direction of everywhere I come. Lucy's a fan of her tiger neighbors, Dash and Indy. Not so much of a fan of her lion neighbors, it seems. But, at the end of the day, nobody's, worse off or anything like that. We have a shade cloth up for Lucy so she doesn't get herself too distracted. And she has 2 whole free-roaming habitats to enjoy too. So she has lots of spaces. If she feels like getting out of Dodge, she can do exactly that. And I often like I'm just so good at speaking over the cats. And this is one I really like letting everyone hear, are kind of these breath little pat, 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 these pats from the Cougars. And it was Langley kind of emerging from the shadows, kind of sauntering up to me and then off into her indoor bedroom. But she's got a full day of catting around, just like all the rescues here. And I'm glad we got to cut in to check in with Kim and Carl for their little moments of catting around with their new enrichment. We'll just head back over there one last time, and then we'll say sayonara for this live post. And tomorrow's Wednesday, halfway through the week already. And, within reason, somewhat of a kind of a more of a quiet week this week. I know that next week we have some important news to share. So I'm always so good at just accelerating time in my head. Whenever I start speaking like that, everything sounds like it's coming so soon. But we still have a whole week to burn, Miss Gretchen. Let's see. I'm going to do a final check-in and see if Kim and Carl are still staring at their caretakers as they work on Lucy's yard, or maybe they're up and doing something else. I see Carl laying along his wall there. We'll make a loop and see if we can find Kim. And if not, we had a good live post regardless. Yeah. Kim smelling some scented paper chain. That was these chain links that we all used to make in elementary school. Oh, I'm so happy we came back over, Miss Kimberly. And I think kind of, on the other side of the equation, someone was asking, what does Lucy think of her new neighbors? And I think Kim and Carl, ultimately, their opinion on new neighbors is pure curiosity. I think that they have been very excited about Dash moving in. I think that's even why we see Miss Kimberly kind of looking that direction. They've been, like you saw, her kind of prancing over when she saw Lucy coming up along her wall. Like I said, just have been very, very curious about their neighbors, and ultimately happy that it's, curiosity, as opposed to feeling antagonized or what have you. And nonetheless, things that we're going to observe and monitor, if that was the case too, and make changes from those. Kimberly, you guys are so good at dodging the paparazzi. Yeah. There we go, pretty lady. Well, cool, everyone. Kind of circling back and reconnected with Kim and Carl. But a fun live with these two and a few others. Like I said, Lucy, got to see Noah, Langley, or I think just Langley, and then Reineer from the Three Wild group. So a fun live, a well-spent live. Any live is well spent if it's with some rescues from the Wildcat Sanctuary. And of course, the people who do so much for our rescues, you, our supporters. But hey, I hope everyone has an excellent rest of their day. Pat Hamilton saying, nice live post. Appreciate it, Judson. I'm glad that Kim and Carl feel curious about their neighbors. I am too, Pat. I think curiosity is certainly, a type of emotion or feeling we associate with cats. And Kim and Carl are doing a great job at embodying that. But nonetheless, everyone, just making sure I'm not missing any final hellos, goodbyes, or questions. But thank you again for making it a fun live post today, everyone. And tomorrow's Wednesday. Happy hump day early. And we'll see you back here at the Wildcat Sanctuary soon. See you, everyone.